Okay, so in this video, I'm gonna make my argument for why I believe transgenderism to be false. So, so in the way that in the same way that Christianity is dependent on well, many factors. Christianity is dependent on a lot of factors. Christianity depends on every single thing the Bible says to be true, which is obviously absurd. Moreover, it depends on the fucking resurrection of Jesus of Nazareth, which is absolutely fucking bullshit. I mean like like it's absurd, bro. Like why the fuck do people still believe in that? It happened like 2000 years ago and whatever. It's stupid. But in the same aspect where Christianity is dependent on, the resurrection of Jesus of Nazareth, transgenderism is dependent on the idea that the um it's dependent on the idea that humans have souls, meaning that our minds are not just the product of our brain, but are actually immaterial beings that merely inhabit the brain and merely exist in the form of the our bodies, which are like our avatar, in that our souls have gender, that they have sex or whatever. And um another in a second or in a dependent for this belief is the idea that cis people exist, meaning people who are not transgender, people who identify with the gender they were assigned with, meaning like that they, like a man identifies as a man who is also a man who has a dick and balls and all that shit. It's dependent on the idea that those people, that they would, if they were to, for however it would be possible, if they were to one day involuntarily wake up as a woman, or for a woman to involuntarily wake up as a man, that they would feel dysphoric about it, and that they would desire to transition into the sex they were before, because that's their true sex. It's dependent. Transgenderism is dependent on the idea that there is such thing as true sex. Um, it's like saying that a black person is inherently black. And that a black person is not just a person who happens to be black. That's my argument. My argument is that a woman is a person who happens to be a woman, and that a black person is a person who happens to be black. Of course, my position is not the who's the fucking British biologist guy? Dawkins, Richard Dawkins. My position is not the Richard Dawkins position, which is the idea that, because I believe in souls, and of course the semantics is probably a bit different. What I mean when I say soul is probably not the same as what other people mean, but yeah, transgenderism and Christianity both depend on the existence of a soul. I also believe in souls, however, I believe in simulation theory. Let me just say that. I believe that we're in a simulation, and that we are all merely like people, like avatars. Like think I don't know, a game. If there's like, think like GTA Online. Our body would be like the person we're playing as, whereas the person who's playing the character would be the soul. That's what I mean when I say soul. But all right, I'm trying to get back on track. What I was trying to say. So transgenderism is dependent on the idea that if a man were to wake up as a woman, that he would feel dysphoric about it and want to transition back to being a man, and cut his boobs off, um have a part of his forearm removed to create a dick and all that stuff. And I think the simple truth is that that's not true. I think 99.999 100% of all men, cis men, I think if you put them in a position where they were to like wake up as a very young, that's a key word that's important to mention, young woman, If you took any cis man and turned him into like an attractive young woman, they have to be young and attractive. Otherwise, being a woman ain't fun if you're not young and attractive. But that's besides the point. They would not. They would not transition. They would not. I mean, they would obviously be shocked and scared and obviously aroused, greatly sexually aroused and confused. I mean that's like we don't have the technology yet to do that. It would be fascinating as hell. We have the technology where we could turn men we can make men look very close to women, but of course they're not women, they're men. We can make it so that men grow breasts and all that, the whole 9 yards, but we still don't have the technology where we can just poof, turn someone into a woman, an actual woman, a biological woman. That technology does not exist yet. But my theory is that that men put in that situation would not transition if they were permanently as a woman, permanently, not just like some temporary body swap that you'd see from like a Hollywood movie, but like a permanent um thing, permanent transition that is involuntary. That's important to mention, the involuntary aspect of it. Then they would just go on as women. And that's because from my personal understanding, from my experience, you act the way you are perceived. If you're perceived as a big black man, big scary black man like LeBron James, then you're gonna act like a big scary black man. If like let's say you took LeBron James, who's like he's like good, you know, standard for masculinity. Let's say you took him and put him in like the body of like Sabrina Carpenter. Do you think do you think in a year's time that LeBron James squared, which that's Sabrina Carpenter. Do you think LeBron James squared? Let me say no no. Let me. Do you think Sabrina Carpenter squared, meaning LeBron James in the body of Sabrina Carpenter, would act masculine and tough and all that stuff if he were in the body of Sabrina Carpenter? Of course not. He would be doing the same gay feminine shit women do, like stick their butts out and like just gay shit that women do. That's not considered gay because women do it. That's the reality. I mean, do you think if LeBron James woke up as Sabrina Carpenter, like he wouldn't wear women's clothing? Of course he would. I mean, who the fuck wouldn't, bro? Like as a man, dude, it's embarrassing. It would be embarrassing to like walk outside like in women's clothing. That's just fucking embarrassing. Like think Finster when he did that the first time. It's obviously embarrassing, but that's also part of the thrill is like, oh shit, this is kind of thrilling, bro. You know? And that's obviously because okay, another point is the whole transgender okay, trans women are either gay men or men who have autogynephilia, whereas trans men are either butch lesbians or women who are super masculine looking that would rather be a man because being a man is easier than being a woman in regards to like present your presentation. You don't as a man you don't have to present yourself any sort of way. You don't have to like take care of your body and your face and your hair and whatever the fuck. So those are the two categories for the trans. Um, it's not it's purely materialistic. It's not like there's no like there's no objective measurable parameter that can determine, you know, whether somebody is trans or not. It's purely you're either gay, you either have autogynephilia, and what autogynephilia is it's basically the sexual arousal of the idea of being a woman. So like cross dressers get that arousal. Finster is a great example of someone with autogynephilia. So those are the ones that, and even some trans women um can have it both ways. You know, you could be you can be a gay man, but also get turned on at the idea of having like tits, having breasts, and wearing women's clothing. That can turn you on, even as a gay man. And another aspect about being a gay man is, bro, like if you're a gay man, if you could choose, all right, if you're at the start menu, you're fixing to like launch a new game, or you're at the character creation menu, and you could choose your fucking character, who would you rather choose? Would you rather choose a gay man who's like a fucking beta male, who's like 5'7", you know? Would you rather be that, or would you rather be a 5'7" woman who is very hot and attractive? Of course, I believe 10 out of 10 people would choose to be the hot woman. Vast majority. In the minority, those people are kind of weird. But like for me, if I was given those two um circumstances, if I was given the choice of being a gay beta male man or a hot woman, I would obviously choose to be the hot woman. And I'm a cis man. I'm a man. And if any fucking cis man were to say that they'd rather be a gay man than be a gay beta male man than a hot woman, they're fucking weird. Like, oh, I'm sorry, I don't know. But that what I just said completely undermines the transgender the transgender theory, the theory of gender. It's the idea that you women act the way they do. Women put on makeup, they wear dresses, they do all the womanly shit women do, not because that's what their soul is. They don't have a woman's soul, they don't have a female soul, but that's merely because they happen to be women. They happen to be women, society treats them as women, and therefore they act that way. That's my theory, and that theory ultimately undermines transgenderism, and that's what I'm trying to say. But yeah, I'm not, this video, I'm not trying to like bash on trans women or whatever, but I mean, god damn it, I get fed up. I'll be honest, bro, I get fed up with the delusion that we're supposed to ignore basic truths and basic reality. Like, it's absurd. I don't, I don't know.